Thank you for tuning into the Generational Gauntlet Top 5 Faves. This is the podcast where we give you our top 5 on a topic with a generational twist to it. My name is Matt Lambert, and I'm the host of this podcast. Each week, I bring in a guest who's from a different generation than me to discuss or debate our top 5 on a selected topic. Today's topic is requested by the person who is joining me. My daughter Nora, Gen Alpha, turns 12 this month, and she asked if we could cover our top 5 favorite pop groups for her birthday, as she wants to talk about her love for all things Korean pop. So in what may have been the hardest I have ever had to search my soul for a top 5 list, here we are. I am not a pop music fan. I have never been one, and my list may blend or lean a little into R&B, but I think that's close enough, or I was not going to be able to come up with a list today. So, Nora, welcome in. Early happy birthday. How excited are you to talk about some Korean pop groups?
I'm really excited, but I have to say something. Everyone already knows I love Huntrix and Saja Boys, and because everyone already knows that, I don't have them on my list today.
Okay, so you've come in with some new groups today.
Yes, tons of research.
All right, I knew you told me you have a lot of notes for this episode. So if you're a first-time listener, here is how the podcast works. Nora and I have each put together our list for our top 5 favorite pop groups. Now, I thought I had an idea of what was going to make Nora's list, but based on the disclaimer she just gave us, I may only know of 1 or 2 that are going to be featured on her list today. She will give her number 5 pop group and why. I'll give my number 5 pop group and why, and we'll continue in that fashion until we get to each of our number 1s. And with that in mind, Nora, I'm going to hand it to you. Who is your number 5 favorite pop group and why?
So, my number 5, I don't think you've ever heard me talk about them before. Have you ever heard of Astro?
Like Astro, like ASTRO?
Yeah.
No, never heard of them. This is a first.
Okay, so this is a Korean pop boy band, Astro. This boy band
Okay.
consists of 7 members, at least I think. So they aren't too famous. They are a successful Korean pop band. The 7 members have crafted catchy songs, their impressive vocals. I really like their song Circles. It's about a complicated relationship, and the boys at Astro nailed it. They are the forgotten band of K-pop. Didn't expect you knew who they were because of that. Not a lot of people know they exist.
I was gonna say I don't know. It looks like, and from what I'm looking at here, they have 4 members currently. They maybe had 6, or maybe the people switched people out. But there's been up to 6 members, I guess, at some point. I just Googled them. I have never heard of this group before in my life.
Didn't think so.
Okay. Any other reasons they make your list?
Well, it's just because at first I thought they were not going to be a good band, and then I listened to their songs and was this is actually really good. So it just surprised me.
Okay. Well, I will tell you, I'm going to go with my number 5, and my number 5 is a group that I don't really like. But I'll be honest, I could not come up with 5 groups. I only had 4, and my wife loves this group, your mom, so I am throwing in one just for her. My number 5 is NSYNC. And Nora, you were not around in the 1990s, so you don't know how big NSYNC really was.
I was
They
around when you tore off an NSYNC shirt and went to a souvenir shop because you couldn't wear that in public without blushing furiously.
Wow, we just came in. You're just throwing hands verbally. So for the
Happy birthday
listeners,
to me!
yeah, we went on a trip and I got sunburned and I was not very well prepared, so I had only brought tank tops with me and I didn't have a t-shirt to wear to cover my sunburn. My wife had a t-shirt and it was an NSYNC concert t-shirt that she had
Oh,
me
God.
wear, and I put it on inside out, and then I promptly walked into a store where we were traveling and bought a shirt for like $15 because I refused to wear an NSYNC shirt throughout the day. So Nora threw a little shade there. Nora, some facts for you. NSYNC popped off in 1995. They remained as a group until 2002. And while I don't like their music, I cannot question their star power. Their third album, No Strings Attached in 2000, sold over 1 million copies in one day. and 2.4 million copies in a week. They have sold over 70 million records as a group, and they're one of the best selling boy bands of all time. They won 3 American Music Awards, 5 Billboard Music Awards, 7 MTV Video Music Awards, and they held the Guinness World Record for the fastest selling pop album in U.S. history from 2000 to 2015. Now, Nora, you don't remember when music was all over television. Have you ever heard Mom and I talk about MTV?
Um, yeah, I think.
Okay, so there was a channel, it still exists, but we had a channel growing up called MTV, and back during mine and Mom's childhood and teenage years, they showed actual music videos to songs. So today
Oh.
you jump on YouTube, you can find them there. We didn't have YouTube growing up. One of the biggest shows on MTV was Total Request Live, or TRL, hosted by Carson Daly. That show ran from 98 to 2008 every day during the week at 3:30 p.m. And Nora, you don't understand the viewership around that show. I would be kicking it with my friends, and we would stop whatever we were doing. We would go inside because we had to see what were the top 10 songs from that day. And that drove for kids and teenagers what they should have, or what we think we should have been listening to. It was what was deemed popular, what was deemed trendy, and most of the songs that were at the top were boy bands like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. And your mom, like millions of other girls,
Oh.
was obviously a massive NSYNC fan during her teenage years. She saw him in concert, as you've already mentioned. She has a t-shirt from that concert. And if I throw some of their jams into a playlist for her today, it still makes her day. Outside of Mom, there are 2 other reasons that NSYNC made my list today. Number 1, Bye 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 was featured in the Deadpool movie, which was funny. The other one, you may not know this story, Nora. I'm gonna out my mom on a story here.
Ooh.
But there was a song by NSYNC called God Must Have Spent a Little More Time on You. And we went on a family vacation. I took a buddy with us. We memorized the words to that song because, we're weird like that. And then we serenaded my mom with that in public places.
Oh.
Like we would be eating dinner and we would start singing to her at the table
Oh.
just to embarrass her. So
Poor
for your
thing.
mother, what'd you say?
Poor thing.
I know, poor thing. So for your mom, for
Mm.
Deadpool, and for harassing my own mother, number 5 on my list. I'll hand it back to you. What's your number 4 group?
So, knowing you, because you don't listen when I talk, you don't know who this group is, I'm suspecting. Have you ever heard of 50/50?
50-50. No, I know
Mm.
that as a phrase, like it's a 50-50 chance it's gonna rain.
You've never
Who's
heard of this
50-50?
Korean pop you never heard of this Korean pop girl group?
Never, not in my life. Have you
Okay.
told me about them?
I don't even know. Okay. But back to the point. This Korean pop girl group formed in, I think, 2022 and has been wowing our minds since their rise popularity in 2023. 50/50's 5 members, think so, have a very famous song called Cupid. At first, I thought it was bad, but after 5 seconds, I began to appreciate their range and messages behind their songs. The 5 members absolutely nailed Cupid and created different versions of it to help spread its popularity. Have you never heard it playing on the radio?
I have no idea what this is.
Ah,
Yeah,
Dad.
never heard it. You can play it for me later. I don't know what this
Ah,
song is or who this group is.
deep sigh.
I'm sorry. All right, so that's your number 4. I have a lot less to say about my number 4 than I did my number 5. Nora, have you ever heard of the group Jagged Edge?
Nope.
All right. So sadly, I did not realize that this group is still making albums. They released their first one back in
Who's
97. They've had 10 additional albums, including one in 2025. They've won 2 Soul Train awards, but I put them on my list literally for 2 songs. That's how
oh,
light my list is of pop groups. Their 1990 hit Let's Get Married is probably one of my favorite R&B songs of all time. I loved the song. And then their 2001 hit, Where the Party At with Nelly, was a total jam. The Where the Party At was playing everywhere in the early 2000s. And when I think of the song, it just brings back great memories. So for me, I put them number 4. Legit, I don't know any of their other songs. Can't tell you if I've ever heard another one. But for those 2 songs alone, it carried them to number 4 on my list. I'll kick it back to you for your number 3.
that was very sad.
Why is that sad?
Just like you had like 2 sentences on them. We're like, "Okay, back to you."
Yeah, I told you, this was the hardest list I've ever put together.
Oh my gosh. So have you ever heard of ITZY before?
Ever heard of who?
ITZY.
Like the Itsy Bitsy Spider?
ITZY. ITZY.
Never in my life.
Oh my gosh. They're a Korean pop girl group. You've never heard of them? They're super famous.
I've never heard of Itsy.
Okay, back to the point. I discovered ITZY in a Korean pop fan magazine and read that they sing songs about self acceptance and appreciating differences. I decided to try out their hit Dala Dala, which translates to different, different. I was stunned by the electric beats and impressive vocals the 6 members showed off. I also enjoyed their hit Wannabe, that dives messages of self love and being yourself. They go against societal expectations, tell fans to be who they want to be. Because their vocals and positive messages, I put ITZY at number 3.
I mean, they sound great. I've never heard of this group before in my life. I don't really know what to say. So, I'll give you a group. We'll, I don't really know any of the groups on your list. We'll see if you know this group. Have you ever heard us talk about Destiny's Child?
Of course.
All right, so that's number 3 for me. And I'm going to be clear for anybody listening. I am not a Destiny's Child fan, but
Oh
I was trying to come up with 5 groups. It was a
my god.
struggle, so I threw them into
It's
the
hard.
list. Destiny's Child was another group who came about in the late 1990s, dropping their first self-titled album in 98 and following it up with albums in 99, 2 albums in '01, and 1 in '04. And Nora, have you ever heard of any of these names? You can tell me if you've heard. Have you heard of Kelly Rowland,
No.
Michelle Williams,
Nope.
Beyonce?
Yes.
Okay, so you've heard of at least one of them. That's where those girls got their start, was in Destiny's Child. The group has sold over 60 million records. They've won 3 Grammys, 11 Billboard Music Awards, 2 MTV Video Music Awards, and they have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Billboard named the final lineup of Destiny's Child, because their members switched throughout time, as one of the greatest musical trios of all time. So many mainstream songs that came from this group, including Say My Name, Survivor, Bootylicious, Bills, 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 and Jumpin' Jumpin'. And I remember when Destiny's Child burst onto the scene, they were a massive hit. They were pretty much everywhere during that time. I mentioned TRL with NSYNC, and Destiny's Child was all over being featured on TRL. I think at one point TRL had a world tour, and Destiny's Child was actually the main attraction or the main event for that tour. Obviously, Beyonce would go on to become one of the most successful and prominent female solo artists of all time. And this is more along the lines of music. I would say I like Destiny's Child a little bit more than the music for NSYNC. I'm not a boy band fan, but still not like this isn't a group I would just queue up in my car and start listening to. But if we had to name top 5 pop groups, they had to make the list. So number 3 for me, Destiny's Child. You got any thoughts about Destiny's Child, Nora?
Don't know who they are, so nope.
No, okay. All right, fair. All right, who's your number 2?
If you listen when I talk, you should know who these people are. Okay? Have you ever
Okay.
heard Twice?
I have heard you say Twice, more than twice, and because usually when you say it, I make jokes about it.
They're a Korean pop girl group, and they are actually pretty famous right now.
Okay.
So Twice, from the first signs of strategy to their eagerness to assist with remix of Takedown, the 9 members of Twice are a well-known Korean pop girl group. Their stunning vocals, bright beats, and teamwork are incredible. Twice doesn't just have range, but the creativity to cover different types of songs, different genres. They cover Christmas songs, love, and even killing demons. So, literally, I read that at the end of one of their world tours, they surprised their fans with a remix of Takedown, and they had a drone show that said the Han Moon is sealed.
Okay.
Like, they went
This,
void.
I was gonna say, this is the first group you've mentioned that I've actually heard of, and that I've actually heard their songs. So, they're the ones that perform Takedown in the K-pop Demon Hunters movie.
Yes, so EJ was working with them. EJ voices Rumi in K-pop Demon Hunters, and she was working with them, so they agreed to, like, help with
Okay.
Takedown, and is a really good remix.
No, from hearing that song numerous times, probably the best song in that movie, or one of the best songs in that movie. So I can get down with this one. I can see how you have this one on your list. So I got no complaints. I probably couldn't name any of their other songs, but at least I know one, and I've heard you talk about them. All right, my number two. I'll be curious if you've ever heard of this group. Have you ever heard of Boys to Men?
Yes, you played me some of their songs. Do I remember what they were? No.
Okay, I will say I don't think I've ever played you a Boys to Men song before.
I've
Maybe
heard
I've
of
played
them.
one. You might be confusing them with somebody else because this is like we're going all the way back to the early 1990s to
What?
grab. Yeah, we're going way back in the time machine to grab one of the most successful R&B groups of all time. And like I said earlier, I'm playing with a little bit of liberties here. I didn't have five pop groups, so I blended a little bit of R&B into this. Boys to Men released albums in the following years. Get ready: 91, 93, 94, 97, 2000, 02, 04, 07, 09, 2011, 2014, and 2017. And Nora, neither of us can probably comprehend how great this group was. Their 1991 hits, Motown Philly, and It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday, were top 5 songs in America. Their 1992 single, End of the Road, that I can hear playing in my head right now as I say it, was the number one song in America and spent 13 weeks at number one in the country. That was a record that they broke twice more with songs in 94 and 95. In the 90s, Boyz II Men won 4 Grammys, 9 American Music Awards, 3 Billboard Music Awards, and 7 Soul Train Music Awards. My mom and dad, your Nana and Grandpa, were massive Boys to Men fans. So I grew up hearing them very frequently in the car and at the house. I remember their song, A Song for Mama, from the movie Soul Food, which I probably should not have watched at the age I did, but don't judge my parents. I can't tell you the last time I listened to this group, but they are so much better than most of the groups that you've listed today. So I'll just throw some shade back at you with saying Boys to Men probably better than a lot of the groups you've mentioned. So you got beef with
Wow.
Boys to Men on this list.
Um, I think that I'm going to top that with my number one.
Well, let's hear it. What is your number one?
Just so I have 7 pages of notes on them, so get ready.
Oh my
What's your
goodness.
guess? What's your guess?
I have a feeling that your number one pop group is BTS.
Yes, you're right for once.
Hit us with it. What you
Okay,
got?
there's a lot of notes on this. Please tell me if I talk too much. BTS, the most famous Korean pop band ever and most famous boy band of our time, has stunning vocals, stylish choreography, and more charm than every boy band in history combined. The 7 members, Jimin, Jin, RM, Suja, J-Hope, Jungkook, and V, started in 2013 with their album Too Cool for School. They were in school at the time. They demonstrated their creativity by writing catchy Korean rap songs and sweet love songs for the album. The boys' fandom, which includes half the world, is called ARMY, an acronym for Adorable Representative Master of Ceremonies for Youth. In 2020, they exploded in the US. Their single Dynamite was the first K-pop song to be number one on Billboard Hot 100 in history. BTS enjoys covering topics in love, loss, friendship, youth troubles, mental health, and breaking from expectations. BTS recently dropped their chart-topping album Arirang, in which they sing songs of perseverance. They hadn't dropped any songs in 4 years as a group, for they were completing mandatory military service in South Korea. BTS performances are stunning. Their music videos include insane choreography. Literally, RM sprained his ankle and detailed images. And while you are not a part of Army Dad, you should still appreciate BTS's charm, music, dancing, and heart-stealing presence.
Nora, let me stop you for a second. So, what
Yes.
is ARMY for anybody that doesn't know?
I literally just said it. An acronym for Adorable Representative MC for Youth.
Oh, my bad.
You pay no attention to me. Listeners, do you hear this? He doesn't pay attention when I
Oh,
have
that's a good joke.
trivia before I go on with my other 5 pages. Okay,
Okay.
time to embarrass you. What is Jungkook's most popular nickname?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, She goes with the golden Macne. Do you not listen when I talk?
What is it? The golden what?
Macne is the youngest member in a band.
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know what you said. All right, no, I never would have guessed that in a million years.
What pets does Jen have?
Uh, 2 cats and a dog.
He owns 2 pet sugar gliders.
I mean, those are pretty dope. That sounds pretty cool.
He absolutely loves them. He talks about them all the time.
Okay.
What inspires most of these solo songs?
Um, love.
His grandmother, who he
That
spent a
I
lot
feel
of
like
time
that
with.
one I should get right. He loves his grandmother, so I was pretty much there.
You're not going to get this. Which BTS member has a nickname Mochi?
Mochi. I'm gonna go with RM.
Jimin.
I was close.
No, you were not. Speaking of RM, what does RM's name stand for now?
Oh, it was Rap Monster, correct?
Now it stands for Real Me.
I was close, but I got what it
Okay,
used to stand for, so I
last
should have
one
like
for
a
now.
point.
Further into my list, I have more trivia, but last one for now. Who is Mom's favorite BTS member?
V.
RM.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Gosh. Okay, let's me carry on. I first discovered BTS when I was sick and reading a magazine. Of course, I had heard Butter on the radio before. Hadn't thought anything about it. After some Googling, Spotify searches, and thorough reading of magazines, I uncovered tons of information about their incredible songs and made prestigious awards. BTS isn't just your average boy band. They're the most talented and charming boy band in the later 2000s. But I'm not done. BTS has had a 4-year break from mandatory military service. Okay, here. Extra facts. Do you know any of
Extra
these?
facts. What?
I want to see if you know any of these because if
Okay.
you don't listen when I talk. Jin loves donating to animal welfare. Did you know that?
Yes.
Soja began writing songs as a teen, actually. RM, BTS's leader, has an IQ of 148. You should know this because I told you this 3 times today. Jimin is left-handed. V enjoys horseback riding and photography. Jungkook wants to open a duck meat restaurant in the future. J-Hope is BTS's class clown and is a big fan favorite. The members are actually solo artists, too, but they work best together. J-Hope is pretty popular, even as a solo artist. Literally, Joe does something silly and the whole crowd chanting his name. But you should hear how loud and wild the crowd gets when V and Jungkook are together. V is constantly trying to mother Jungkook, who is 2 years younger than him and the youngest in the group, or the Maknae. Jungkook is constantly annoying V, and V makes sure this is known in every interview. Also, both Jin and RM have expressed how messy Jungkook is. When they were all living together, Jungkook didn't pack for 2 months and left his luggage open in the middle of the floor. Plus, he had the biggest room of all of the members. When the members are together, it's guaranteed you'll be in tears from laughter. RM helps translate some of the members' Korean sentences and helps make sure everyone understands what's happening. While RM is a genius, he's forgetful. Once, he lost his passport twice on a world tour. Their personalities are so vibrant and hysterical. Also, their topics and their songs change over time. At first, they were rappers. Did you agree they were rappers?
I have seen the video you showed me of them rapping, and I guess they're rappers, or were.
Okay. At first, they were rappers and covered topics like ignoring societal expectations, choosing your own path, and critiquing bad school systems. Then they moved on to emotions, which they still covered today, like love, loss, and friendship. They also blend hip hop, rock, R&B, and a number of other beats in their albums, making them incredibly good at diverse music styles. That's why Mom said that in Hooligan she was getting like whiplash because they kept switching the beats.
Oh, okay.
You have to listen to it. BTS is an incredible boy band and one of the most fantastic boy bands of the 21st century. I personally enjoy the following songs by BTS: 2.0, Hooligan, Merry-Go-Round, Swim, No More Dream, which you hate, Dynamite, Butter Run, and Upon Them. They have dozens and dozens of songs, some fast, some slow, and some record breaking. So I would like to do one last thing, and it's very easy. I have another trivia for you. I'm going to say a line from a BTS song, and I want you to guess which song it's from. These are pretty tricky, so it's okay if you don't get them right. What song is this line from? Ain't no other that could sweep you up like a robber.
Butter.
You're so smart. It is from Butter. Okay, I don't know if you're gonna get this one. Bad world, gone away. I should wake up in this mad world. Near a place that I can breathe on this map world.
Swim.
Do you have Google out right now?
Nope.
Uh, uh, okay. We the mess need to get a better mop here. What is this from?
I don't think I've heard this song.
Good, you got one wrong. This is from Hooligan.
I've never heard Hooligan, so I was right.
Okay, here's another one. I wish I could tell you that it's over. I wish that I could walk away from pain. What is this from?
Run.
It's actually from Merry Go Round. So back to you.
All right. Well, I've heard a lot of BTS recently. They're very talented. Not my style of music, and that's okay. Um, my number one, interestingly enough, yours BTS, a 3 letters for a group. Mine, also 3 letters for my number one, and it's TLC. And Nora, as you can tell, most of my list is dated today, as I think pop music has gone downhill, and I didn't think it was great to begin with. So my number one, another 1990s group, TLC, the girl group of T-Boz, Left Eye Lopez, and Chili. And this was one of the most dominant groups of the 1990s. They had 9 top 10 hits on the Billboard Hot 100, including 4 songs that went number 1. Those were Creep, Waterfalls, No Scrubs, and Unpretty. Their 1994 album went diamond. They've sold over 60 million albums, and they are one of the top 5 selling American girls groups of all time. They won 5 Grammys, 5 MTV Video Music Awards, 1 American Music Award, and 5 Soul Train Awards. TLC is one of the groups that I vividly remember from my childhood. So, Nora, when I was growing up, I've told you this story before, but our bus driver, when I was in elementary school, had this genius idea to keep us quiet. And he said if we didn't cause a ruckus on the bus, he would play music. And typically that music consisted of 2 major songs. It was TLC's Waterfalls and Coolio's Gangster's Paradise. If we got loud, music went away. We were probably the most well-behaved group of kids on a school bus in the history of the United States. Now, if you know the lyrics to either of those songs, people out there are like, wait, you were in elementary school and your bus driver was playing Waterfalls and Gangster's Paradise. Yes, I was in 2nd or 3rd grade at the time. We should not have been listening to that on the bus, but we were. A bunch of rural West Virginia kids jamming to Coolio and TLC, just bopping down the road. And also, our bus driver looked like Bill Clinton. I don't know why. I still to this day confounds me. Bill Clinton was president at the time. He looked like our country's president while he played some tunes for us in our school bus. TLC was a massive hit during my childhood. Waterfalls, an absolute smash. No Scrubs was catchy. It's a great song. And Nora, that's the rule for you. When you start dating one day, no scrubs are allowed. I
Oh, yeah, I
l-
know that
you know
song.
that song, so I love TLC's fashion with the baggy and bright clothes. I love the hip hop style infused music. This was peak 1990s fashion, peak 1990s music, so they're number one for me. Nora, other than it not being BTS, any beef with my list here this evening?
I mean, kind of. Like, why do you not have BTS on your list?
What would be my top 5 favorite? And while I think they're immensely talented,
Oh!
and I know they're your favorite, they don't make my list.
Oh, I'm
And that's
offended, sir.
and that's okay because they weren't around during my generation, which is a big piece of this podcast. We have people that have different tastes based on their generation, their upbringing, or different things that they've experienced. So shakes out to what this podcast is all about. Nora, as this is an episode that you've requested to be on for your birthday, anything else you want to say before we wrap up here today?
I'm sorry if I bored you, but it was really fun to hear you get all the trivia wrong.
I would like a recount because I'm pretty sure I got about half of that trivia correct. So we'll let the
I'm
listeners
sorry.
decide.
Mochi is not RM's nickname.
Well, I got a few wrong, but I
That's
got some right. So
stuff.
we'll let the listeners decide. They can tell me if I was really bad or if they, if they would have been locked in and got those answers as well. But Nora, I thank you for coming on here this evening. All of the listeners, I thank you all for tuning in. If you've not done so yet, like, subscribe, leave us a 5-star review, refer a friend to come check this podcast out. If you have a suggestion for a topic that you'd like us to cover, you can send those to generationalfave5@gmail.com. That's generational, FAVE, the number 5, at gmail.com. Thank you all for tuning in.